Okay, what an impractical setup, but we'll work with what we have. Maybe it'll look a little better in some cases, but yeah, this is not an ideal permanent solution. Thank you for your guys' comments and stuff like that too, and wanting to offer your support. I'll talk a bit about it a little later, but yeah, let's just go through the day, because today's another day, right? Man, the lighting's gonna be all over the place here, just to let you know. One thing I noticed about the drone though, with that ESC error, so I'll probably have to take it back and see what's going on, but I noticed sometimes when you start it up and it has that error, if I just turn it off and start it on, it actually doesn't fix. But then if you turn the propeller, like fold it back in and then back out and then start it, and then all of a sudden it works. So it makes me wonder, is there like a little switch or button in there that tells like the drone like, hey, this thing's activated? So maybe that's a little hint of what's potentially the issue with that thing sometimes. I was able to update the glasses and stuff too, so I just have to test it. Okay, and some stuff I read. I actually read this yesterday, but obviously with what happened, I didn't get a chance to read it and stuff like that. It says here, commercial drone shot down, police launch investigation. Police have launched an investigation after a commercial drone understood to be worth almost $500,000 was shot down in a rural part of the ACT. Although from reading this, they make it sound like it was potentially farmers that shot it down. It says Andrew Geike, who owns farmland in Lanyon, not far from Tennant, said he had seen an increased number of drones in the rural area in recent years. Mr. Geike said farmers were generally wary of unannounced drones in cases they were being used by criminals or animal activists to spy on their properties. From a farming perspective, I can understand being very wary of drones, but I wouldn't shoot one down. There's a better way to handle things. Yes, there is. What would be the odds that that's a farmer or something like that shot it down, huh? I mean, like it says there's better ways to deal with situations like that. And especially in this case, it makes you think, because a lot of people, they would automatically assume illegal activity. Like this one was a perfectly legal licensed flight, yet people are so quick to jump the gun nowadays, huh? I guess one thing about losing the camera is it kind of forced me basically to kind of determine, I guess, faster on what I should potentially get, like if anything. And basically just for like reference in terms of, I guess, buying things, like obviously price is a factor too. Like I said before, money doesn't grow on trees. But if I was to buy the same thing again, that camera is actually over like what, 2 years old now. And just looking at like the regular price right now for this, like you can see like even on Amazon is about $4.99 Canadian. And when I'm thinking about it, like it's actually really awesome for the way I use it just for lifestyle. Like this is even using this right now, it's like so much preparation. You can't just whip it out and just start recording. Like I'm pretty sure it's so overblown a lot of the pictures and stuff now, right? Even though this is set on auto. But like if you look at what's new, like even with a 360 camera, like it says here that this price is accurate. Like this Insta360 is 517 Canadian. They said it's including taxes and everything. So it makes you wonder, like in terms of a camera, you might as well try to get something that's more modern day if I pretty much just have to buy like another camera, right? Because with the camera, there's a couple of factors. One, it has to be good quality, obviously. You don't want something that's junk. Another one is the convenience. You have to want to actually be able to bring it with you. I think that's one of the great things for me doing this for fun and so forth. It's basically, I can just do it whenever, just like during my regular walks and stuff. I don't have to think twice about the equipment and stuff. Whereas this, it's like a huge bulky camera. There's actually a mic and stuff on here, like attached to it just for the audio and so forth. So it's a little bit much like to do it every day. And I can't exactly just do things on a whim. You'll probably lose the shots, because even from reading the comments, like, I mean, it's nice to hear. Even you guys like the random stuff. I mean, I see so much stuff like that every day. You won't be able to do that with something like so bulky like this. Because even with Sony cameras and stuff, I was reading before about that RX0, like that really tiny one that's supposed to be awesome, but it had no stabilization or anything. And this one here says, what to expect from Sony at the CP Plus Show 2019. I mean, they're rumored to potentially announce like a Mark II version of it. And it's pretty soon, apparently, with this event, February 28th. So realistically, I should hold out and try to see what's available and so forth. I guess funny enough, just from using this, I guess this kind of shows the things I could potentially capture depending on features and stuff. I mean, obviously this one has like a zoom and stuff like that, whereas the other one, it had like a digital one, so I never used that. So it kind of gives you, I guess, a bigger picture of what I could potentially do. Yeah, they say everything happens for a reason. I mean, it's a little coincidental with all this stuff. Maybe it's just the universe's way of forcing me. It's time for you to upgrade. are those ducks doing? And thanks everyone again for everyone who was willing to help me out or trying to find a way to help me out to like get the gear and stuff like that. Just generally speaking, in terms of things like companies and stuff like that, I've never actually got too into that stuff. I mean, everything that's been presented to me so far was them approaching me. I think that's the best way to do it because I just do it for fun. Like at the moment, I don't really treat it like a business or anything like that. I know a lot of people, that's why they only do like things like specific reviews and stuff like that, because they want, you know, the big company sponsorships and all that. But for me, it's just for fun at the moment. Plus, I would imagine in some cases like if you're specifically asking them for stuff like that, don't you in a way feel responsible? Like, okay, now you can't ever talk like critical about them or anything like that. Like that's what I would feel anyways. So it's better if they actually approach you because they saw like, say, the value in yourself and all that. That's just my current thought about stuff like that anyways. But I have been trying to think of ways, like even last year, if you guys remember in that video, I basically mentioned I'm potentially trying to think of ways to like expedite my ability to do various things and all that. Because who knows, like even like last year, if I made like a certain decision, I might not even have been here anymore. Like in terms of the Vancouver area anyways. I know there's like lots of awesome scenery and stuff to capture here. But what would be fair and basically, I guess, benefit everyone in that way? The only comment I remember reading before in terms of supporting what you guys brought up, you said make it really easy, like you wanted me to set up like a PayPal link. So if you feel like it, then you can just throw whatever you wish. And another thing I was thinking of, which might actually make sense in some ways, like if I was getting like things like on camera and so forth, does anyone actually use like Amazon and stuff on a regular basis? Like I do personally. And they actually gave me like these custom URLs where I believe as long as you buy anything from there, like I can get like a commission fee from it. So it wouldn't matter what you get. Doesn't matter if it's like a bag of chips or you are buying a camera or a drone or something like that. Like I can then use that money towards the funds of getting like new gear and stuff like that. So I'll post those links below for anyone who wishes to use stuff like that, because I can't really think of anything else. I know there was things like Patreon and stuff like that. I've just been reading all the news about it, where they've been, I guess, so political for some reason. Like I don't know, should I use something like that? But I love reading the comments just to see what people kind of get out of the stuff that I make, like in terms of the value and stuff, because I know everybody is different. I mean, it kind of reminds me like just a few days ago, if you guys remember, I taped like the parade and stuff like that. Like to me, it's like, you know, do it for fun and so forth. Everyone gets something so different from it. Like one of those comments that stood out to me, one guy was like saying, did you really miss this one part? Like his kid was in it. I was like, really? Like what part was he in? But then like that just came down to like, again, like things like resources, because I had to change the batteries and stuff. Like I don't know if I actually captured it. But everyone gets something so different. Like I don't know, like cause when I started, it was basically just for fun and to fly the drone daily to learn how to fly the thing. And then of course things happened, like those interim laws. I started being seemed like a lone wolf debating with like what, those helicopter pilots, the commercial ones and stuff. I know some of you found me that way. So yeah, so maybe this is a good opportunity. Maybe it's meant to be in terms of how to, I guess, grow and progress from here in terms of things like gear to better adapt to the future, I guess you can say. Because for me, I'll keep going with what I said in my mindset in terms of the year-end video. Keep moving forward, add value. Yeah, okay, this thing is dangerous, man, this drone right now. I don't know what's wrong with it. I just did a test again, just in an open field, just to make sure like nothing's wrong. And for some odd reason, the left propeller came flying off again. Virtually the exact same thing, where the propeller part got stuck. So I don't know what's wrong with this thing, but the thing is too dangerous to fly at this moment. So I don't know what's could have been the issue for that. I don't think that's a firmware thing, right? Because it could have been something happened when they did the repairs and stuff, maybe. I just don't see how that could, why would that keep snapping off? That doesn't make sense. It's secured and stuff like that. And that was a brand new propeller as well. Unfortunately, during this part of the video, the mic stopped working. I'm actually using one of those Rode VideoMic Pros, which is actually really good, but it requires a battery source to actually operate, and I guess since I don't use it that much, I don't exactly replace it every day and all that, so maybe next time, unfortunately. But what happened afterwards was so weird. What I was trying to show was when the drone crashed, there was obviously snow on it, so I opened up the case looking just for like a tissue to wipe it, and wouldn't you know, there was this little note in here. I believe it was from a fortune cookie. I'm like, how did this even get in here? And it says in the note here, now is a lucky time for you to take a chance. I was just thinking to myself, what is this supposed to mean? This just seems like I'm in a movie or something like that. I mean, take a chance. What, in terms of gear? In terms of getting more support? I still wanted to test out the AR glasses as well. And this time specifically to see how well can those shades block out the glaring sun? Because the whole intent is you can always keep your line of sight, just look forward. How well would this do? From my experience, it seemed like it was too overbearing with the sunlight directly at you in that case. Because I know, from what I read, I believe they sell separate polarized lens. Is a little bit more premium quality. That would have probably been better. But they did not provide me with that in the box for this evaluation, so I have to go by what I was given. So you can't really directly stare at like something super bright. Like, you'd obviously have to turn away. I mean, you shouldn't ever stare directly at the sunlight, but just in general, these shades that they give you in the box isn't dark enough for that. So that's good to know for once I actually get to test it out with the drone and stuff like that. Other than that, I was just saying how obviously I'm not going to fly the drone right now because that thing is really dangerous. I don't know what's wrong with it, so I can't really bring it back because it's a holiday at the moment. So the first day that I can do it, I'll bring it back and see what happens. Other than that, yeah, no drone flying for the time being, unfortunately. I still have fun editing the videos and stuff like that. Maybe this will give me more time to do the stuff that I actually haven't had time to do, like uploading the separate video, more footage of that bald eagle swimming. I thought people would like to be able to see that. I think it's interesting anyways. But just for the fun of it, why not edit something as well? Alright, see you guys later.